Hello everybody, and this is Tiago with Attack on Tiago. For today's video, I will be going over my favorite anime villains of all time to commemorate me hitting 100 subscribers. And thank you all for this amazing milestone. I couldn't have think that I could have done it like a few months ago, a few weeks ago, but it finally happened. I hit 100 subscribers, and that's thanks to you guys. And thanks to you guys for hitting that subscribe button and liking my videos. And it just gives me the energy to keep making these videos for you guys. But I am not alone. Joining me today is Coda.
No.
Is my friend Zod.
Oh, what's up?
And then last but not least, Jay.
Okay.
Okay, what the hell was that?
I'll tell you that.
Oh, you guys had weird introductions. But anyway, we'll be going over my 15 favorite anime villains and a few things to note before getting into the list. It'll be one villain per series. So we'll be not having two villains from any anime in particular. It'll only be one, and that'll encompass the 15. Also, I do not count Light Yagami or Lelouch as anime villains, as I view them as the protagonists of their story, and they're sort of more like an anti-hero to me. Also, I have a few honorable mentions that were very close to making the list. I just really want to mention them, and we'll just breeze right through them. Those are Doflamingo from One Piece, Izaya from Durarara, Takasugi from Gintama, Squealer from the New World, and Stain from My Hero Academia. All of them had, at one point, were close to making the list, but just fell short just barely. So anyways, if you guys are ready, let's begin the list. Starting off the list at number 15, from the Promised Neverland, is Isabella.
Ooh, Isabella, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Did you say boo?
Ooh.
Oh, ooh. I thought you said boo for a second there. I was going to say, what do you mean? Isabella's a great villain. I actually kind of want to put Isabella a little bit higher, but I think 15 is the perfect spot.
Honestly, I feel like Isabella is such a great villain, given that we don't have any information about her up until like the end of the episode when the traumatic stuff happens.
Very true. Yeah, at first I hated her. I hated her as a character. I hated what she was doing to all the kids at the orphanages. And then when it got revealed, her backstory and everything, I really started to sympathize with her. Because then she was given that decision by one of the demons to either live to be a slave to them or basically die. And she wanted to live, obviously. And it hurt her every time seeing those kids like go off, because she had to keep doing it so then she could stay alive. And also the moment then when they finally escaped, you could just tell, like based on her facial expressions, how happy she was when they escaped, showing that her development, and she felt like finally free from all that bondage and like pain that she was going through all those years with the orphanages.
Of course, if you look at it at face value, the anime really does try to make you hate her as much, but if you actually like go into details, you can see how smart Isabella actually is to be able to put up like throughout the end of the series on her own against like three of the smartest kids in the the farm.
Yeah, the orphan. Yeah, the orphan.
Yeah, that's true. She also kind of scared me.
Going back into the end of where she, where they revealed her backstory. You really gotta think. Does that really make her a bad person? She's doing it because she wants to live. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking Tiago's thing with calling Isabella a bad person is just you're brain dead, kid.
No, I didn't say she was a bad person.
Well, bad guy or antagonist.
Oh, a villain?
Ooh.
So I will admit this.
Let's say yes or no.
She blurred the line, I guess. But in season 1 in particular, I would say she was the villain, as she was also stopping the progress of those kids trying to escape, as she was trying to keep them there to keep her alive. But it was at the end when they finally escaped, and you could just see like she finally felt free from everything. And that's
spoiler warning at the beginning of this.
There will be, and that's why I said that I will be saying the name of the anime first, and then revealing the name of the villain after. Because then if I say the name of the anime, that'll probably give a hint to some people, oh, I haven't seen this, or you know what, I'll watch it later if they want to be spoiled. But yes, there will be spoilers in this. You guys can spoil. That's fine.
Let's go.
So Isabella, it seems like most people agree with that spot. Maybe even higher, but I don't know. All right, number 14. From Attack on Titan, I went with Zeke, aka the Beast Titan.
Ooh.
Zeke's a tricky one, to be honest.
Attack on Titan in general is a tricky one. Because it's tough.
I guess it really has to depends on the season, because I feel like Zeke have changed so much throughout the different seasons than most of the characters on Attack on Titan.
Yeah. I think... So, Jay and Koda, what are you guys' thoughts on Beast Titan?
Yeah, he's not too bad, you know, he's a very good mix. He did what he had to do.
I just hate him because he, like, you know, killed Erwin, or almost got him killed. That made me rage, bro.
Oh, I was so... Erwin was one of my favorite characters, and then when that happened, that sucked. Yeah, Beast Titan, his entrance still kind of scars me to this day. How he took out Mike Zacharias, who was the number 2 soldier behind Levi, how he died and what Beast Titan did to him. Oh, that was almost traumatizing, I'm not gonna lie, because that was just so brutal. Yeah, he did. But what I like about him so much is, even when he's not a Titan, he's still just this smart, strategic guy, just planning out everything for that to happen. And then you see all the stuff that comes later with Marley and his backstory and everything, and his motivations. And he's sort of tricky to figure out exactly what he's planning, because he can just switch sides also in an instant to go according to his plans. And how he goes about doing his plans and the means to do it, I thought were just crazy and brutal to me. And I really liked him as a character, as I thought his presence as a villain was very known. And then Levi put him in the montage, that's for sure.
Yeah, I feel like the peak of Zeke is definitely season 3 part 2, considering how much strategic moves Zeke has been putting, especially when especially that time where he kidnapped some of the Rigako villagers and had them surround like Eren and the other people at the wall.
And he was responsible for so many of them turning into Titans.
Exactly, and not only that, but being able to like yeet Berthold onto like main point of district where Eren is to make him activate a Titanic Mig.
Very true.
Not only that,
not gonna lie.
Also being able to throw precision making boulders onto the horses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Given that how much you have to put into actually thinking of all of that, makes Zeke one of the most like intelligent characters, and really makes him scary when you realize that he's the antagonist of it.
And then another thing that I forgot to mention was in the backstory parts in season 3 part 2 with Grisha Yeager, Eren's dad, and also Zeke's dad. Zeke was the one that was responsible for turning in his family, his mother, his father, and all those people that were trying to rebel, and then all of them that basically get turned into Titans, except for the father, obviously. But he was responsible for that as well as a kid. And we see the backstory, more of that in season 4, but he's a twisted character, and I think there's a lot more to him that is just so fascinating to me. And I won't go into manga spoilers, of course, because this will be just anime list, but I think he's also very well developed in the manga.
Yeah.
Yo, that triggered me, bro. When I found out that he snitched on his dad, I was like, bro, what's wrong with you?
I know. I wasn't reading the manga at that point, so that just caught me so off guard in the anime. Yeah, that was messed up. But Beast Titan / Zeke, number 14. All right, number 13. I'll be surprised if you guys know this character. Actually, you probably have heard the anime, so we'll see. So number 13 comes from Madoka Magica, and it is Kyubey.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one before.
Has anyone seen Madoka Magica?
Oh, I think
That's like the magical girl anime, right? I haven't.
It is a magical girl anime. It's the only magical girl anime I've seen. So has anyone seen it? If not, I'll just talk a little bit about it and then I'll just go through. No? Oh, you have?
I said go ahead and talk about it.
Okay.
I haven't.
Just to make sure, Coda, you haven't?
It sounds really familiar. Give me some plot.
So Madoka Magica follows a few, I think, middle school girls, namely Madoka, and Kyubey comes to them one day and asks if they want to become magical girls, where they can get one wish, and that wish will be granted, and then they can turn into magical girls, where they fight off against these witches, or like these like evil entities, basically, who are basically like all around the town. Like they'd have to fight them off, and Kyubey gives them the power to do so. But why Kyubey is such a great villain to me is it's revealed later, because Kyubey comes off as Kyubey is like this magical cat. So it's not a person, it's not a being, it's like this cat. And Kyubey is sort of lovable, like the appearance of Kyubey is very cute-like, but it's not like that at all. So Kyubey is actually an incubator, and there's multiple of them in the series. And their main objective is to give these girls their magic powers and wishes, and by doing so, that signs a contract with Kyubey and the incubators. And how Kyubey and the incubators live is harvesting their souls. So after they sign the contract to become magical girls, they basically give their life to them, and that's how they live.
I think I remember that.
And they basically treat these magical girls as farm animals. That's how they're living off of them. And by them becoming magical girls, it's basically furthering their lifespan. And when one of them is killed, another one of them just takes their place. They're emotionless beings that have no thought or reason except to keep on living. And by doing so is by giving these girls their powers. And it got very twisted and dark towards that point in the end of the series. And it was a very big twist that I was not seeing coming. Like, I had no idea. But the impact then that the Kyubey had on the rest of the girls going forward, if they really wanted to continue doing this, was such sort of like a mind, like it screwed with their mind. Like it traumatized them basically by signing this contract. But anyway,
This give me a mix of Ryuk from Death Note and Isabella from the
Yeah,
it does. That's actually a very good comparison. Ryuk and Isabella. Yeah, I'd say that's exactly what Kyubey is. But I think Kyubey was a little bit more of an antagonist towards the end of the series, as Kyubey really became its own villain towards the girls in what they were doing. But anyways, that's Kyubey at number 13. Number 12, from Bleach. I went with Ulquiorra. Not even Aizen. I don't know if that'll surprise some people.
Yeah. I was expecting you to say Aizen, not gonna lie, bro.
Most people expect me to say Aizen out.
Why did you pick that person other than Aizen?
So, well, first, everyone here has seen Bleach, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
I
Coda
haven't
also
finished it.
You haven't finished it, okay. So, my reason for not picking Aizen, because I love Aizen. I'd probably say Aizen's my second or third favorite character in Bleach. Ulquiorra is my first. And Aizen, to me, has his flaws, where I thought his appearance in Soul Society, amazing. It was one of the best arcs. It was one of the best twists I've seen, because I had no idea it was coming. And I think Aizen's appearance throughout the rest of the anime is great. But to me, he has his ups and downs, especially with his plan. To me, his big plan made no sense. Basically, to keep strengthening Ichigo, and then for Ichigo basically to be stronger than Aizen, so much so that Aizen then couldn't beat him at the end. So to me, the plan itself made no sense. And I didn't see like that much development from Aizen as a character himself. He was a great presence and a great foil And he was obviously the biggest fool. He was the big main villain of the series. But Ulquiorra, to me, I thought was a better villain overall. And to me, I think it was that his emptiness and strive for a human heart actually gave him some layers and depth to his character. Because he's empty. He actually has a hole basically where his heart would be. And that's why he admires Orihime and kidnapped her, because he sort of wants that feeling of being human. He wants that feeling of knowing what it's like to have emotions, because he doesn't. And that's sort of something that you can sort of you sort of like can feel that for the villain, because that's all the villain wanted. The villain didn't want to. Yes, he was killing people, he was doing bad things, obviously, but it was all for the goal that he wanted to be human. He wanted to have that feeling of being human. And also, to me, he was a big antagonist to Ichigo in that he killed Ichigo twice. And I thought also his fights in the series, the Ichigo versus Ulquiorra, was my favorite fight in the whole series of Bleach. I think the Aizen versus Ichigo fight, the Kenpachi fights are obviously actually pretty cool, but I think in terms of being just an epic fight, I think Ulquiorra versus Ichigo was the best one. And then right at the end, when Ulquiorra is dying, he's reaching out to Orihime right at the end because he wants that feeling again, right when he dies. And I thought his whole arc in the whole series was the best to me in terms of the villains.
So you believe that a villain has to have vulnerability to make it a great one, rather than just being outright the most evil?
Not necessarily. There will be some villains later on in the series that are just evil for the sake of being evil, and that's perfectly fine. But for me, in Bleach, I like Aizen and Ulquiorra. They're both great villains. Honestly, Aizen would be really close to making this list, but I have to pick one. I just found more flaws with Aizen. Like, there were multiple times during the series I'm just like, Whereas with Ulquiorra, the whole time I was engaged. I was just loving his character. I was loving everything they were doing with this character throughout the whole series as a villain. But yes, it's being able to feel and see why the villain is doing the actions that he's doing definitely adds another layer to the villain. But
yeah, I agree with that, with what you just said.
That's great to hear.
Sorry, I've been talking a lot. What are you guys' thoughts on Ulquiorra? Do you guys like him?
I just agree
I have
that...
no clue who Ulquiorra is. I'll be honest.
That's fine. I can... When the video's up, there will be a picture. Jay, what are your thoughts on Ulquiorra?
No, I mean, I was just agreeing that what makes a great villain is having a reason why they're a villain in the first place.
Right.
And that, to me, like, sometimes because, like, people can relate to it. And that's why I agree with it.
For the people that have seen Bleach, would you guys put him over Aizen? Jay or Zod or Koda? Would you guys say Aizen's better?
No.
I guess it's in your opinion, because obviously this is mine. I'd put Ulquiorra ahead of Aizen, but would you guys say that Aizen or Ulquiorra, which one would you say is a better villain?
I would say I'd still go with Aizen, to be honest.
I'll go with Aizen, because when I hear villains, I feel like the villain has to put some sort of pressure onto the protagonist rather than having vulnerability for you to relate to them.
That's fair.
I'll be honest, I don't know who Aizen or Ulquiorra is, but Ulquiorra is a cooler name, so I'm gonna go with Ulquiorra.
I think Ulquiorra also has a better character design.
He does look better. He does look better than Aizen, I'm not gonna lie.
He looks sick as hell. I think he's awesome. Awesome characters. I think he's the best character design in the series. Him or Toshiro, I really like his character design as well. But that is my number 12 pick, Ulquiorra. Number 11. This will be another one that I think sort of stretches the definition of villain. And then I think almost the rest of these, I'd say, are pretty clear villains. But I think he had to make the list. Number 11 is from Vinland Saga. It is Askeladd.
Hey, number 7 of all places.
This is number 11.
Number 11, my bad.
You're good. Alright, cool.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of that guy before.
I know Koda didn't finish Vinland Saga, so Zod,
Vinland Saga.
have you? Wait, did you finish it? Sorry, you cut out for a second for me.
Yeah, I finished Vinland Saga. I'm
Ooh,
just trying to think of what to say about Askeladd because I feel like I don't know. Askeladd is technically a villain. I feel like Askeladd is the goal that the main character is trying to achieve is to kill Askeladd, right?
yes.
I feel like Askeladd is way more, way more like as a character than the main character. Sometimes I feel like the main character is the villain and Askeladd is actually the protagonist of the whole anime.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that he is in a way the main character of the series. It sort of shifts to him later on. I think also just because he's just much more interesting than Thorfinn. But I don't want to spoil it now too much because Jay hasn't seen it, and Koda I don't think finished it. But both of you guys have to watch Vinland Saga. It's an amazing Viking action anime. So good, and Askeladd's the main reason why it's amazing.
I saw a fight scene and my boy had all his fingers taken off and the fight scene was crazy. It was a big buff Viking man, and he got put in a Taj by a blonde-haired small man.
Jay, you have to see Vinland Saga. At least add it to your plan to watch.
Yeah, I will.
All right. So I'll talk just very, very slightly about, or just a little bit about Askeladd, and why I like him. So one, he is the most cunning character in the series, where he has his own goals and motivations in mind, but at the same time, he's basically setting up chess pieces and having catalysts in place, all for them to basically meet his goals that he wants. Because he's trying to basically control a few people and have them do certain things. And by doing so, he's very interesting and unpredictable. And he's basically the main foil to the main character, because the main character's goal is to kill him. And he wants to kill him, and he keeps trying to. But he's also very strong, and the main character needs him alive at multiple points. So he's very interesting in that regard. But I won't go into it more. He also has, I'll say this, he has one of my favorite moments of all time in anime. There's something that he did that I literally screamed. I was like in shock factor. And I think Zod would know what. Mm-hmm. But I was just so shocked that he did something. It's one of my favorite moments in all of anime. But anyway,
that's a big statement.
It's a big statement. That was when I was shocked. I had no idea it was coming. Anyway,
big statement for me.
Said all of anime.
In all of anime, yes. All right, but anyway, we're now in the top 10, and I don't think you guys are gonna know the next few. I really hope, but we'll see. My number 10 is from Inuyashiki. It is Hiro Shishigami.
Yes, let's go.
Oh, wait, Jay, did you say? Wait, have you seen Inuyashiki?
Of course, man. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. What about you, Zod or Koda? Have you guys?
Nah.
Give me a name.
All right, Inuyashiki. It's about this old man who sort of has a bunch of things not going well for him in his life, and then one day this alien ship basically crashes into him and another individual, killing them, and then
that anime.
Yes, but then they basically I think feel bad, so then they decide to replace their bodies with mechanical parts. So the main character then decides to become a hero, and he sort of gets off, like he feels enjoyment and like feels good about himself when he saves people. But then there's Hiro Shishigami, who's the other person that was hit by the alien ship that day.
Yeah.
And he sort of feels good when he kills somebody.
He's the complete opposite of the main character.
I'm guessing the antagonist is the dude that goes Spain.
Is the what?
It's the dude with the finger gun?
Yes, that's him.
Okay, then yeah, I've definitely watched the anime.
Oh.
He's in the manga though.
I've heard he's really good in the manga, but Jay or Zod, what are you guys' thoughts on him?
One of his key moments that really struck him is the part where he just randomly goes into a stranger's house. Out to the man, goes the mom, goes upstairs, see the dad and the boy. The dad, and the boy was drowning on the dad's corpse because the dad wouldn't move.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That was hard to watch.
He comes downstairs, he saw the schoolgirl coming back, and the schoolgirl was crying, and the boy walks up to her. He kneels down, and he told the girl while looking into her eyes, "What's your favorite anime?"
Yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah, that's right. She goes like One Piece. Oh, I love that anime. He goes.
I love that anime. Why are you crying?
I love that anime. Bang.
I'm crying.
Yeah. So Jay, what are your thoughts on him?
I can't really relate with him much. It feels like he just doesn't have a reason why he was that way, or at least I don't remember why. I can just remember him doing a mass slaughter.
He did multiple mass slaughters, but he said it later on in the series, because I think in a lot of ways the mechanical parts that were put into him sort of changed his psyche. But even though there was some hints of his flashbacks that sort of showed him that, because I remember one of the flashbacks, the kids were talking about like, oh, would you feel more if a human dies that you don't know, or if one of your favorite manga characters die? And he said, oh, if it's another human person, I don't know them, I would definitely feel way more for the manga person. And I think that's sort of makes sense with how he's thinking, because he doesn't care for any of these people's lives, and he just views them as entertainment because he just feels good when he kills somebody. And he doesn't, for some reason, that just doesn't click with him in his psyche until later on in the series he realizes that he's the villain of the story. And that while Inuyashiki, the main character, saving people, he's killing them. And then he sort of wants to become good, as you see later on, when then he starts using his powers to save people. But it was because of his killings that he did in the past then that sort of came back to him, as everyone's after him. As all the police people, all the people internationally are just after him. Because then he can't live that life because of his mistakes. And that's when then he changes his mind and then he wants to kill people again. But I think he's very interesting. I thought he carried the series for me.
And he checks out everything for what a villain's supposed to be.
Yep. Yeah, I thought he was...
Villains are just supposed to be evil, and if the main dude is evil, then that makes him a good villain.
It's true. He was the perfect antithesis to the main character, as they're clear opposites, and the dynamic between them are great. But anyways, that was number 10, Hiro Shishigami. Number 9 is from Psycho Pass. It is Shogo Makishima. Alright, well, I hear no one talking. Has anyone seen Psycho Pass?
It sounds...
Well, don't think so.
Cody, you haven't?
I don't believe so.
Jay?
Yeah, I don't think I have either, but I have seen it a lot. Like, stuff about it, but I don't really know much, because I haven't seen it.
Alright, Zod, you're my only hope.
It was on my list for a while, then I forgot.
Oh my gosh. So I've only seen season 1 because I've heard season 2 and season 3 are not that good and don't live up. But season 1 it made my top 50 anime. I will say that, and a lot of that is because of Shogo Makishima. So I'll talk a little bit about Psycho Pass and Makishima. So Psycho Pass sort of so it's set in the future. It's a cyberpunk anime. Mm-hmm. And it revolves around this system in place called the Sybil system, which basically tracks everybody in the city, or I don't know if it's country or city or whatever. And it determines based on their psyche if they are a threat or if they need to be exterminated, basically, based on their psyche and how they're thinking. So there's these people, these enforcers, that then go kill or go put in jail or whatever, put in prison these people just based on their psyche, even if they haven't even done anything wrong. Just because their psyche views them as a possible threat in the future, then they go lock them up or kill them. So Shogo Makishima, who is the villain of the series, basically wants to change the society for the better. Because he views the Sibyl system as a flawed system and sees that there's a lot wrong with it and that we shouldn't be living in this society. But by how he goes about doing so is bad. Because he has other people kill for him and do tasks for him. So he's not involved. So when this, I think around the middle of the series, when they aim their guns at the person, at Shogo Makishima, it shows that his psyche is fine. And that he is not, he doesn't have one of those, he doesn't have like a high enough psyche that he should be exterminated or killed. Because he hasn't done anything wrong. He's having other people do wrong for him. And he's basically driving people insane and having them kill for him just to show how wrong the Sibyl system is. So he's a great antithesis in that regard.
He's putting him in the montage, basically.
Yes. And he's very cunning, very calculating, and he's basically behind a lot of the killings going on in the city, but he's not being taken accounted for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is number 9, and I have to move on because you guys don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
He is an interesting character.
He is. I think
Reminds me of like Yagami a bit.
He reminds me of Joker.
in a lot of ways he is Joker. That is a pretty good
Society.
comparison.
We live in a society.
So I'm sorry that it seems like some of these are odd choices, but I definitely know you guys know number. I will be shocked if you guys haven't heard of number 8. Because number 8 is from Dragon Ball.
Never heard of it.
Nope, yeah, what's that anime?
Oh, it's a series about a very overpowered character who's an alien species. Basically, he keeps.
Oh, he's guys. He's talking about Krillin.
Oh, no, I think he's talking about Yamcha. I think it's Yamcha.
Yamcha.
Hold on, is it the dude with the yellow hair that can do like shadow clones?
Yeah, the guy that can do Shadow Clone. Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Wait.
That's definitely him.
He that black hair dude. Oh
All right,
wait, they all have black hair.
what? Goku doesn't have black hair. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I was thinking of his Super Saiyan form. I was so confused for a second.
Yeah, and even
Wait,
once they go Super Saiyan, then they get yellow hair.
Yeah, wait.
No.
I think you're right. Krillin. There's one point when he grows hair. I think it's black.
Oh, never mind then.
They
Oh
all
my
got
gosh.
black hair.
Oh my gosh. No,
Even the
Bulma.
monkeys. That's
Bulma
a
doesn't.
chick.
Are you saying that?
Trunks.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Trunks too.
Hey, Trunks is just built different. He's literally built different.
All right. Anyway, the villain. I went with Frieza. All right, Frieza. Why'd you leave, Koda?
Cause you said Frieza.
Yeah, Frieza's a great villain.
He gets his ass back every time.
Is he though?
What?
Like I said before, if you think of an anime villain, like
If I'm
most
thinking
of
of
the time,
villains,
it's a
I don't
Frieza.
think Frieza's like really coming up.
Yeah, I don't think I think of Frieza.
Like
What?
what do you mean?
Like all he does is just takes an army and comes back. He's like, it's every like
Yeah.
like 30
He-
episodes maybe. It's just sort of like.
Is it a first time
Frieza's an
fighting?
iconic villain.
He's so iconic. When most
Yep.
people think anime villain, it's a lot of people think Frieza, especially most well-known anime villain. It might even be Frieza number 1.
Yeah, if you think of being invaded with an army, yeah, dude, Frieza's probably in the
There's-
negatives.
What? I don't understand why are you guys ripping on Frieza?
Well, it depends
Frieza's
on
trash!
Because he's bad. He's
depends on
trash.
the Frieza forms. So, like if you think of
Frieza
like
has
early
no
stage
earnings.
Frieza,
Has not placed once in a tournament.
Doesn't mean anything.
He doesn't play in
in-
tournaments.
In my
He's
opinion,
a
he was
casual
only
player.
good.
So
He
wait,
was
I want
only good when it was their first time fighting. When Goku first turned into a Super Saiyan, I reckon that's when he shined for me.
Okay,
mainly.
so I will say that I've seen Dragon Ball Z and Super. I don't know anything else I've seen him in. But a lot of why I like him as a villain is because of Dragon Ball Z. In that arc where it was the, oh my gosh, the Namek arc when they're on that planet, and then the right after the arc with Frieza. So I loved him during that sequence because I thought he was such a great villain, so powerful. I mean, at that moment, when he kills Krillin, you actually think he's dead because you don't know really much about like if they're gonna get the Dragon Balls or not. You think in that moment he's dead, and then because of that, that's a trigger for the rest of Dragon Ball. It's all because of that moment, because that's when Goku turns into a Super Saiyan for the first time. And now, obviously, anyone can turn Super Saiyan. Now there's like Super Saiyan 6 or whatever, Super Saiyan Blue. Like, but it was that moment that was just awesome. And he basically was terrorizing this planet of species, the Namek people. And I thought he was such a powerful foe. And so I hated him. I actually hated how he acted. I hated everything about him. But that's also what made him such a great villain, so memorable to me.
That's
what
understandable.
You like what also makes him a good villain? It's the pacing of Dragon Ball Z. Like, you would only hear his name on the first episode when what's his name? Kakarot's brother came in here, and then he mentioned like Lord Frieza one time. And you would never seen him do anything up until like hundreds of episodes where he actually goes to like Planet Vegeta and do something about it.
Are you talking about Raditz? Raditz in the beginning?
Yeah, Raditz mentioned like Lord Frieza being like the all powerful and all that, and then like you would never seen him do anything up until like episodes of later, and then like it always builds up, and especially when he also like changes form. Know if it's gonna end or not.
No, I 100% agree with you, because they were building up basically for the reveal, and then when he finally is on screen, you're like, oh, this guy? Like, he sort of looks kind of like puny in a way when you're strolling around, but then also when he turns into his forms, then you see his power really come forth. And why he's such a threat. But anyway, Frieza, it seemed like two people somehow, I don't know how, two people did not like Frieza. I still don't get that. But, well, actually, here, I'll ask a different question. If you guys had to put a Dragon Ball villain on this list, which one would you pick?
Oh, you know that.
Let's start with Koda.
All right, he's my absolute favorite villain. Also, all right, so my favorite. All right, it's actually the very beginning of Dragon Ball. You're not gonna believe it. You know who Vegeta comes down with? The bald big dilf. It's him.
What is his name? What is he? I don't even remember his name. Oh, wait, Nappa?
That's right, baby.
Nappa's your favorite?
That's right. Imagine,
Nappa
he comes down from space itself. He folds you, and all of a sudden you get a little power from God. You think you are that. He still puts you in the montage, and all of a sudden he gets a power from God and God.
But then he gets obliterated by Vegeta.
He was so good, he had to get team killed. That's what you gotta think about.
Alright, Koda, that's great. Great opinion. Zod, who's your favorite Dragon Ball villain, if you had to pick one?
And if I can't pick Frieza, I guess...
You can pick any. You can pick any.
Well, it's either Cell or Frieza. I feel like they both have the best saga out of Dragon Ball Z.
I agree. What about you, Jay?
Oh, I'd probably say Zamasu. You know him? The
green...
Zamasu. Yeah. I'd probably say him.
Him and
with
him slash Goku Black.
Yeah,
oh, that's a great choice.
Oh, dude, he's not black. Future Trunks.
Yeah, yeah, but I'd put him like above Frieza.
I liked Zamasu slash Goku Black. I agree. I think they're a great villain. I think there's some nostalgia with Frieza, but I also think Frieza overall was just a bigger threat at the time. Like in Dragon Ball Z, I thought Frieza, when I was watching, was just unstoppable. Like, I didn't know what Goku was going to do. I didn't know what any of them were going to do. Whereas I thought Goku Black and Zamasu, like, I thought they were a great villain to them, but there's not a single doubt that I was like, oh, they're going to beat this guy. And like, his motivations to me were kind of meh for Zamasu and Black Goku. But
I feel like Frieza has the best villain stance out of the whole Dragon Ball Z, especially on his final form where he's just like, his whole stance is just him acting like the king. I found out like really badass.
Yeah, he views him basically as perfect. Yeah, but that is Frieza. That was number 8. Number 7. I really hope you guys have seen this one. It's from Made in Abyss. Bondrewd.
No, I haven't seen that.
You talking about
I just
that?
started watching Made in Abyss. I'm on episode 1.
Oh, okay, I can't spoil then. Kodo, what were you gonna say?
Oh my god, you're talking about that?
Okay, so no one's seen Made in Abyss or Bondrewd.
I've seen through my plans.
I'm ignoring what you're sending also in the group chat. And don't mention this.
Yeah.
But I can't talk about Bondrewd then if you're watching it. Everyone here, please watch Made in Abyss. You have to watch Made in Abyss and then the movie that comes right after it, talking about the next arc, which is Dawn of the Deep Soul. Because Bondrewd's hinted at the end. I think he has a few episodes. I think he's talked about throughout the series. But it's in the movie basically where he gets his shine, and oh my gosh. He's an amazing villain. And I can't really talk about it. Zod, you're watching it right now. You're on what episode?
Episode 1.
So I really can't mention anything.
What is his like moral? Does he kill people? Like, is he like?
Okay, so I'll mention. He's someone that he probably doesn't view himself as a villain, and also people don't necessarily view him as a villain from the outside because they don't necessarily know what he's doing. Because he's sort of shrouded in mystery. They just know that he is someone that goes in, that is one of the people that go into the abyss and experiments and like checks out what's going on down there, exploring. But it's what he's doing down there and everything else behind his reasonings and what he's doing that makes him such a great villain. But I can't say anything because that's really big spoil. I don't want to spoil anything if you guys are watching the series because I wouldn't do that. But everyone here, please watch Made in Abyss. And if you're one of the viewers right now and you have watched Made in Abyss and seen the movie, then you guys will understand my placement for Bondrewd. But if not, then I got to move on. But shoot.
Sorry, Tiago.
That's fine.
Only watch 150 anime, not 151.
That's fair. Better be 151 then. But number 6 is a villain we will be able to talk to, thank God. And I think it is one that everyone most likely will agree on, but maybe I know one person would probably want the villain higher. Number 6 is from Naruto.
I knew it. I knew it.
You knew what?
When the moment you said one person might disagree, I was like, man, this is Naruto. This 100%.
Right. Well, it's Naruto, and it is Pain.
I knew it.
You know, Pain is a good villain when 40% of the anime community have him as his profile picture.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
That is true.
Everyone has him. And I think he's much better than Madara. Or Orochimaru, or whatever other villain you'd say.
I mean, I kind of agree with you there. It's just Madara's more badass.
Madara's more badass, but Pain's still pretty badass.
Everyone shall know true Pain.
Yes.
I feel like Pain is just a walking sponsorship.
What do you mean? What?
He just comes randomly and be like Pain and then leaves as if like it's a whole sponsor.
He doesn't just come randomly say Pain and then leave and then come back and say
Pain.
Naruto, Pain, what are you doing here?
Pain.
Peace out.
Koda, what are your thoughts on Pain as a villain?
I agree. I will not be saying he randomly comes because that's pause. But
oh my gosh,
you guys just kept saying that. I gotta say pause because you guys are kind of a little sus. But
all right, Koda, keep going, please. All right, what are your thoughts on
Pain? Cool, Naruto bad. Continue.
All right, well that's kind of controversial.
Nope.
But
Naruto trash.
Jay, I know you're a big Naruto fan. So I can talk a little bit too, but I want to hear your thoughts on why you love Pain.
Because first of all, it's the build-up on how they made Pain look, especially since he's the leader of Akatsuki, which is known to be like the most deadliest like group in the series, and mainly because like everyone in that series has their own motives, but Pain's motive is only not revenge, but it's to like for the greater good, like if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. So he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, he's doing whatever it takes to achieve true peace, or so he says. Compared to, like, he's the type of person who wouldn't be scared to do actions, even if they're bad, for actual like true peace.
He views it as the greater good for everybody.
Yeah.
What he's doing, he views it as the greater good. Like, he doesn't think necessarily that people will like what he's doing now, but he thinks long term what he's doing is for the better. By stopping the cycle of war and death. Because he wants peace.
Not only that, but like you can understand why he's doing that as well. Because like two great nations, right? Oh wait, can I get into it or?
You can get into a little bit.
Okay, so basically, two great nations caused war, and their land became the battleground, and everyone of his like family got affected by something that they can't even control, and that's what built him up to become a villain. And when Yahiko died as well, I guess that's what. Yeah,
that was a turning point basically for him. But Zod, what about you? What are your thoughts on Pain?
I feel like Pain is a good villain, but the anime community has completely oversaturated him as being like the best of the best. Like, it's kind of like having a song that you like, but then everyone like trying to like say like, this song is the best, I love this song, and because it's kind of like that, it makes you hate the song even like more.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's sort of like, an amazing song, you really like it, but then people just keep playing it over and over and over.
It's like you're trying to conserve the value of the song, but because of so many people are trying to like liking it a bit too much, it makes you like have a bad taste of the song.
I can see where you're coming from with that for sure. But I still love Pain.
But after the whole anime profile picture Pain, now Pain's kind of look like a one-dimensional character.
Aside from profile picture issues, what are your thoughts on Pain?
I feel like the anime made Pain the way he is. I feel like the worst Pain ever had was that one Ninetale fight. And that's it.
No, what made Pain hated is when he killed Jiraiya, bro. Yo.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, yeah, I hated him for that, but he was still a cool villain to me at the same time. But yeah, when he killed Jiraiya, that was Jiraiya was one of my favorite characters, and actually still is one of my favorite characters in the series. So seeing him go down like that sucked.
Yeah.
I thought Pain, is also the perfect antagonist to Naruto. I think Pain, it basically led everything up that he was doing up to Pain. Koda, why'd you... Okay. But everything Naruto was going for basically led up to Pain. And the conclusion of Pain was basically Naruto's end goal when then he became Hokage. Or like leader of his... But anyway, I love Pain. I thought...
Oh, can I just add one more thing?
Yeah.
Let me just say that Pain is the only one who beat Naruto in Talk No Jutsu. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? Straight facts. Straight facts. I'm not even gonna disagree with that. So
take a shot whenever one of us say Pain.
All right. No, we're ending it right now. But yeah, I guess if you guys want to rewatch the video and take a shot anytime one of us say Pain. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I don't endorse drinking, so never mind. So that was number 6. And we are now into the top 5. I am really curious how many of these you guys, I think, at least heard of 3, maybe 4.
Okay.
So we'll see. Number 5 is from Berserk. It is Griffith.
I've heard about.
Oh, I haven't seen Berserk.
Okay, Koda, Berserk.
No.
Okay, and Zod, you said you've heard of it.
I've heard of the Griffith. He's like the antagonist of the main character, right?
Well, yeah, he's the main villain basically in the series. So I will say this: if I was including manga, he'd probably be a little bit higher. But I'm just doing based off the anime, and there has not really been a great anime adaptation of Berserk. But I think everything that they've done with Griffith in the anime is still good. I think that is like the one redeeming quality because the animation quality has been so bad. But what they do with Griffith is amazing. And I think I can go a little bit into it, but not a lot. But why I like Griffith and why he is an amazing villain. So if I was just going off of favorite characters and people I like, Griffith would not be on here. I absolutely hate him. He's actually the villain on this top list that I hate the most. Because I hate what he does. I hate what he did in the series because he was this leader of this mercenary group that takes in the main character Guts. Guts is renowned as the Black Swordsman. He has a big sword, great fighting, and Griffith was the leader of this mercenary group. As he's trying, oh my gosh, these pain PFPs. But anyway, Griffith is trying to become leader of his own nation and set its own rules, and basically he thinks he can make the world better as a leader. So that's his goal. He's doing everything in that. He's doing everything basically to get to that goal of becoming leader of a nation. Unfortunately, some circumstances come up where he does some things wrong, and he basically gets captured and he gets tortured and just destroyed. Like when you see them in the series after all the torture that he goes through, he looks unrecognizable. The series is very dark. I think it might be the darkest series I've ever read and watched. Because especially with what happens next.
Oh okay. Yeah, I've heard Berserk was a dark type of manga.
It's very dark.
Anime, yeah.
And it's especially dark with what happens with Griffith. And I can't say. That's kind of a spoiler.
Is it darker than Vinland Saga and Goblin Slayer?
Yes. It's much darker than episode 1 of Goblin Slayer. What happened? Yep. What happens? What Griffith does and what occurs is the darkest thing I've ever seen, and he is unforgivable. I understand why he did it, but he is unforgivable and he is horrible. And he's an amazing villain later on, also in the manga. And the anime only covers up until that point, with right after what he does in the series, which I will not reveal, but is very dark. And if you want to be sort of traumatized, you know what, the movies aren't too bad. The animation quality is like because it's sort of 3D. Yeah, but it's okay. It's 3 movies, each of them are like an hour. I think the third one maybe an hour 20. To see but otherwise read the manga. The manga is much better. But Griffith definitely deserves a spot on this list. Anime or manga, no matter what, he deserves a spot. And you'll know why if you read or watch. But
interesting.
I can't say it. I can't. It's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest twists in anime. What happens, and it's one of the darkest. It's probably the darkest moment I've ever seen.
In all of
anime. Turns into an animal.
In all of anime.
He said in all of anime.
Oh my gosh! Let's move on.
Anime. I've watched 700 anime. All of anime.
He said all of.
Well, I mean, I don't know, dude. There's a lot of animes.
Yeah, there's a lot of anime, man.
And I'd stand by my statement.
Dang.
Damn.
I know, right? Oh my god.
Pain.
Okay, I need to move on to number 4. Please, we can stop. Number. All right. It is not, but you know what? If Pain wants to sponsor me, go on ahead. All right. Anyway, number 4.
If Pain wants to smoke.
Number 4 is from Fate.
Ooh.
It is Gilgamesh.
Villain?
Gilgamesh?
Villain.
Hey, have you seen Fate Zero and
yeah, I have.
Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, at least?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Fate Grand Order because I think he's the main
Bro,
character.
okay, yeah, dude. In Fate Grand Order, he is not no villain. I thought you were
Okay,
talking
no.
about that. Okay.
No, I haven't seen that yet. It's on my plan to watch. It's going off of Fate Zero mainly, and then also Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Okay. Sure, makes sense.
Gilgamesh.
Have you seen any Fate series? Zod?
I have not.
Just
I
really
have
Or
not.
Jay.
characters.
Wait,
I
sorry.
have I have not seen
I've
any
seen
Fate.
Fate. I just
So Jay has-
I'm just bad with character names.
So wait, Jay hasn't. Zod, you have seen Fate.
Yes, I'm just bad with character
Okay,
names.
he was the Archer class, blonde hair. Basically, his main power was called Gates of Babylon, which basically he can summon any weapon, like out of like a portal, and he can just launch them at foes, or he can just use it as they're all weapons that are in his treasury room. Does that ring a bell?
Gilgamesh has one of the best ability in all of anime.
He's broken. He's overpowered. he's
The
one
fact
of
that
the
it's overpowered makes him already like top tier as a villain.
But why I like someone has some background. Zod, I think you have a little bit of background. All right, thank you.
Alright.
You're good. Don't worry. But why I like him so much as a villain is, to me, he's probably my favorite character on this list. I think he's so entertaining. That's one. So that's why I also love him. Because while everyone is struggling during this great Magus war, he isn't. He's viewing it as entertainment because he views himself as the god, basically, of this world, because he's so powerful. He's this big king. He's the grand king. But why he's a villain is he basically wants to manipulate everybody for fun, because he views that as fun. Because everyone he views as beneath him. So when he gets summoned into this world and he has a master that's controlling him, he views that master as boring, utterly boring. So then he manipulates someone else to become his master and kill that master that was the one controlling him. So he could have a different master that's easier to control and shape into his own image. Because he wants the battlefield to be more fun. That's basically what he's doing. He doesn't want to take over the world. He basically already is taking over because he views himself as he's just bored. So what is he doing? He's just causing chaos, and however he can do it. He's very similar to in The Dark Knight. He's basically Joker, and he turns some people into Two-Face, specifically one.
Oh, that's a good comparison. That's good.
That is him. And he is such a great villain in that regard. And he's so entertaining. He's so powerful. He's the most powerful character probably in the series. And, I just love him. He's vastly entertaining. When you're watching the series, him and another character to me in Fate Zero leave a big mark, because every time they're on screen, their presence is just so engaging. And I think he's a great villain. I think Unlimited Blade Works, he's still pretty solid, but he's sort of a little bit more in the background. But in Fate Zero, he's a big villain in the series. I wouldn't say it's the main villain, but he's for sure the better villain, I'd say, in terms of more interesting and also more different. So I know Coda is a big fan of Fate. So what are your thoughts on Gilgamesh?
In Grand Order, they turned that boy into an act. Oh my god.
Okay, we don't need to talk about too much about Grand Order, but
Alright, well, that boy was an actual playboy. Alright, that boy was a Chad. I'm not gonna lie, when he got folded, I wasn't too happy because, he was the matching. You can't be having the big dog get put in the montage like that, but again, there had to be something that changed up the thing, so I liked it. It wasn't bad. It was a good thing.
Well, really quick, with Unlimited Blade Works, I hated that ending because Gilgamesh is so much more powerful than Emiya. Yeah, Emiya somehow is able to get to him and take him out. That was so stupid to me. But what are your thoughts of him as a villain in Fate Zero?
It's like the opposite of Saitama.
Well, Saitama is a hero.
That's true. Well, what are your guys' thoughts of him in Fate Zero specifically? Because that's mainly what I'm going off of.
I don't know. It's like what? Chaotic evil kind of villain with unlimited power.
It's very true.
Can display fear out of all of us if he wanted to. you can never know whatever he thinks or what he wants because he does it based out of if he's entertained or not. Not like any moral or any end goal where it can be like easily predictable.
Yeah.
And the fact that he can be so unpredictable can also makes him more confusing and more scary because he's just like unknown. He knows that he's like God at the anime.
One moment that I just remembered in Fate Zero that I liked. Stop. Alright, one moment I remember in Fate was when, I think it was around like episode 3 or 4, when a bunch of the servants were meeting up. I think it was when Lancer and Saber were about to fight. And then Gilgamesh comes in. He's standing on that light post. And he's just looking down on everyone because he views himself above everyone as everyone's beneath him, basically. And then when Berserker takes out that light post and then he's on equal footing with everyone, you could just see how pissed he was because he sees himself obviously as the god. And seeing that he's at the same level with everyone pissed him off. And that's why he really wanted to kill Berserker right there. But again, I think he's so entertaining. I think he's awesome villain. He's probably my favorite character on this list, but in terms of villain, I'd still put him at number 4. And also, fun fact, he was my profile picture for a bit, but now it is Lelouch because Lelouch is awesome.
That's another big statement.
A lot of big statements, I guess.
He said he was his PFP in
my
all
PFP?
Of anime?
Oh my gosh, okay, we're moving on. Number 3. Number 3, I'll be super impressed if you guys have seen this. I think it's sort of underlooked now. Number 3 is from Monster.
Monster, you get it.
What? Did you do the monster?
It is Johan Liebert.
Liebert.
It's a German name.
Let's say Liebert.
Okay, have any of you guys seen Monster?
No.
Jay?
No.
Okay. I apologize also. It seems like there may have been a few villains on here that you guys don't, but that is perfectly fine. It's understandable.
Anime that only like 3 people watch.
That's fair. I want to talk a little bit about the series and then I'll get into the villain. Because I think talking about the series is sort of what makes him such a great character, the villain. So the series is called Monster. And it's about this doctor, who's this wide-renowned doctor named Dr. Tenma. He, one night, is faced with a difficult task of either operating on this governmental figure or this young boy. And both of them are about to die, so he can only operate on one. He decides to save the young boy's life while this governmental figure then dies. Because of that, the whole hospital wanted him to also save the governmental figure. And because he didn't do that, he gets fired. He gets ridiculed. His wife leaves him. He loses a lot of money. He basically just, everything bad goes, like comes towards him, basically. Like, he has such a bad luck in that regard. Years later, he's working at a different hospital. And one night, he actually finds the young boy that he saved. And the young boy then shoots someone right next to him. The young boy actually becomes a serial killer. And he's behind a lot of serial killer. He's behind a lot of the killings that were going on. And it's that twist, which is also so awesome. Because he saves this boy. He saves this person. Yet this person grows up to become this monster. This devilish figure. And sort of what you were saying earlier, Zod, where some villains, like, oh, do you like them because of the development, or you can sympathize with them? No. This person, Johan Liebert, he's evil. He's evil for the sake of being evil. He views everybody in terms of, if he views happiness as temporary. And when someone is happy, he doesn't view it as something that's good for that person because they're going to die anyway. So he views happiness as temporary. So what he's trying to do is be the catalyst and speed up everyone's death. Because he thinks it doesn't mean anything. It's worthless to be happy. It's worthless to enjoy anything. So he just wants to kill people. And he wants others to kill people for him because he sort of wants to stay back in the shadows and be the mystery that he is. And if it wasn't for him revealing himself to the doctor early on in the series, he would have never he would have never been caught or even never been heard of, because he was that much in mystery. But he did that because he viewed the Doctor as his one worthy person, because he saved him. But Johan is an amazing villain. Someone's mic is making some noise.
That sounds like a very interesting thing. I'm not gonna front. Not gonna lie, sometimes I'd make fun of it, but that sounds deep.
It is. It's
sounds like I've heard it on a history book before.
But I'm not gonna lie, like the kid, he's probably had like a pretty hard life, like including the.
Oh, he did.
Same with the Doctor, because like, considering what happened to the Doctor, like, you know, he literally lost everything. So I'm assuming the same thing probably happened with the kid. Like, he probably lost absolutely everything.
The kid, I believe. So he had a sister, and I think if I'm remembering this correctly in his backstory, his father was very drunk, and he was assaulting his wife, so the kid's mother at the time. The kid, seeing that his mother going through this, takes into his own account to kill the father, and that's the first sign of him killing someone. So he kills the father on the spot, but the mother then basically is horrified by the incident, scars her for life, because it basically changes her whole personality, or like changes her demeanor, that her kid killed somebody, and puts them both into an orphanage because of what he did. And the kid then is traumatized by that her mother didn't like him or didn't like what he did because he thought he was saving his mother. But the kid then gets a twisted idealism that happiness is temporary. And in the orphanage, he actually masterminds multiple killings in the orphanage. Like, he gets that twisted at a young age. It's like, it's so crazy. And he is such an amazing villain, because you don't see, he's not like a dominating presence in the series. You don't see him on screen that much. You see him on screen like a solid amount, but not a lot. But because he's working so much behind the shadows and causing so much for the protagonist. Oh, he's amazing. He's just the perfect chaos agent, and he's evil for the sake of being evil. That's all it is.
Can he beat Goku though?
Probably.
He'll probably someone into coerce maybe Saitama to fight Goku.
The debate. Gotta get
All right, we're moving on. Moving on. But Johan number 3.
When talking no jutsu doesn't affect him.
Oh my gosh.
All funny games till Saitama dies.
That's true. Actually, I don't know who would win. I still don't know. But anyway, this is not a Goku versus Saitama debate. It is a villains debate, sort of. But anyway, number 2 is from Hunter x Hunter. And then before I say who, I want to see predictions. Who do you guys think it is?
Pito.
All right, so Jay thinks Pito. Zod, who do you think it is? Zod thinks Meruem. Kodo, who do you think it is?
You're gonna say Hisoka. I'm feeling it.
Okay. Well, I went with Meruem.
Let's go.
So honestly, if I was including multiple characters per series, Meruem, Hisoka, and Chrollo would probably all make my top 50. I love all of them. I think they're all amazing villains. I think Hisoka is more entertaining. I think he has a big presence in the series, but in terms of just villain, in terms of the arc,
weird.
Who, Meruem?
He's
or
weird.
Hisoka? Oh, Hisoka. Yeah, of course Hisoka is weird. But I think he's a great character. I think he's a great antagonist. But if I had to go with one villain, I went with Meruem. And there's a couple reasons why I like Meruem. But first, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Meruem. So let's start with Koda.
He's an actual bad boy. Like, what else you want me to say? He literally pulls people like with one hit with his tail. Like, if you lose a game to chest to him, and you make some sort of excuse, he kills you right there and then. It's as simple as that. He'll literally put you in the montage, put you on a cliffhanger. I bet you have 0 PR, have no future. That's why he kills you. Easier said than done.
That is true. Azad, why do you like Meruem? Because you're the only person to correctly guess Meruem. So why do you like Meruem? And why do you think I would say Meruem also?
So Shawty a little bad.
This Meruem is like the best character out of Hunter x Hunter. And that he has way more layer than Gon had. Gon took like 3 seasons to actually look like a good character, while Meruem only took like 1 season, 1 arc.
It took a few episodes.
Few episodes, and boom, he already has like more layers and more deep development.
Yeah, he had development.
That's going to lead him. At face value, Meruem is just like Gilgamesh. He thinks that he's a god and he should rule, and whatever he finds entertaining, he'll do it, and whatever he finds boring, he'll kill it.
Yeah.
Then he interacts with the people around him. That makes that legit, like, just changes him as a person, for better or for worse. He doesn't really like willingly does that. He of course chooses the type of people that he thinks are worthy to give him advice on.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you were saying. Jay, what do you think? What are your thoughts on Meruem?
Oh, I don't really know what to say about Meruem, to be honest.
You don't know what to say?
Yes, sir.
Are you caught up on Hunter x Hunter?
No, not really, no.
Oh, wait, did you finish Hunter x Hunter?
No.
Oh!
I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up. Why would you ask if I finished?
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't, because there's another arc right after Chimera Ant. So I didn't know if you didn't watch that.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I don't know what to say about that guy.
Ah, shoot. Okay, do you care that much about spoilers for Meruem or no?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
Alright, so I'll talk a little bit about Meruem, but stop. But
Talk about the end.
So I will say real quick, again, I like Hisoka and Crollo, but I didn't get as much development. I didn't feel as much with Meruem. Meruem's ending also I'll talk about in a bit, which is amazing. But Meruem as a character, I thought when he comes out, when his entrance, and he just right away establishes his dominance, establishes his power, because you initially when he's being born, you don't know necessarily how powerful he's going to be, but he establishes immediately how powerful he is, and everything then going forward is him acting as the king. Everyone treats him as the king, and that's how he's viewed until when Komugi comes, because he actually then sees Komugi as someone that's worthy of not only being alive, but someone that can challenge him. And that sort of humanizes him then, because up until that point, everything was easy for him. Everything was going according to whatever he wanted, because he's that powerful. And then after Komugi humanizes him, then starts a change in his development, where he he wants to find out his own name. He wants to find out other things about him that he doesn't know, because everyone just views him as the king and everyone knows him as. And also his fight with Netro is also one of my favorite fights in the series. I will say, and actually not in the series, I'd say in almost any anime. But that fight also had multiple layers to it.
That's a big statement.
It's a big statement.
A big statement for me.
Yeah, that's a big statement.
Netro
all of anime?
Oh my gosh. So Netro basically thinks he's basically taken out this big threat to humanity. And he basically views himself as the hunter there, trying to stomp on this ant. And that's actually shown through the fight. Meruem's, in a lot of ways, is staying alive. He doesn't want the conflict, because he just wants to know his name, which Netro is keeping secret from him. And then when he intervenes into the fight and shows his power, it's too easy, because Meruem's that powerful. And it takes a poison bomb in order to take him out, because he's that powerful. And his final moments with Komugi, I thought, were amazing. And it showed his growth from point A to point B at the end, where he was that brash, arrogant figure that was doing things for fun and was ruling over people. But then he sees the human the humans basically as a worthy people and worthy of being alive. And I thought his whole arc was better than most character arcs in Hunter x Hunter, I will say. I think he probably had the best arc. And I thought he was very well developed. Because in a lot of ways, through that arc, Chimera Ant arc, the human characters turn into the Predator, like with Gon when he ruthlessly killed Pito. While Meruem, who started off as that villain, the person that is killing people, and sort of became humanized. And it's that dynamic that made the arc so interesting. But that is my number 2. And it seems like you guys, well, actually, I don't know. Jay hasn't seen Meruem really, and I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on the placement, at least?
It's fine.
At number 2.
Pain.
Okay, it's not Pain.
Honest, I thought Askeladd will be in the top 5 with Meruem.
You thought Askeladd would be top 5?
Yeah.
I love Askeladd. I think as a villain, moved him a little bit down because I don't know. He's tough to characterize because I think he's still a villain, but in a lot of ways he isn't, you know?
Yeah.
But I love Askeladd. I thought he is awesome. So my number 1 is the only spot left. I am down to hear your guys' predictions. And before I say my number 1, I would like to hear each of your guys' number 1 villain, if you had to pick.
Oh my god, Thiago.
What?
I haven't been recording. I'm kidding.
I hate you. All right, Coda. You know, let's start with you. I want to hear your prediction for who my favorite villain is in anime, and then I want to hear if you were making a list, who would be your number 1.
Okay. My prediction for who you think you will put for number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Is probably Yugi.
Yugi from where?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh my gosh.
And I
All right.
think,
And who would be your favorite? Or who's your favorite villain?
This takes some time. You know Kirito? He's pretty bad.
All right, moving on. Zod, who is your prediction for my favorite villain, and who is your favorite villain?
Who do I think it's on top 1? I think it's Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
And my favorite villain currently is that one chick from Gun Gale Online. That's not on the list.
Gun Gale Online?
Gun Gale?
Yeah. It's this one chick.
You sound goofy. I don't know.
That's not on the list.
I don't even know.
Goofus and doofus in here.
Wait, are you talking about Xenon? I haven't seen it in a while. I don't even remember who.
Oh, not the season 2 of Sword Art Online, like the spin-off of Sword Art Online, Gun Gale.
That's not a spin-off, it's part of the series.
I don't even know.
No, like there's the spin-off of Gun Gale that's actually like a spin-off.
I've never heard of it.
You got me lost in thought. You boxed me, homie. Yeah,
What's the name of the villain that you're talking about, Zod?
No, let me just check real quick.
Alright.
He's probably gonna say some dumb stuff.
Alright, so you can... Actually, I'll wait.
Kanzaki. Yeah.
Okay.
Kanzaki also.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never
That.
never heard of the character, but I might check it out then if that's your favorite villain. Jay, who's your prediction for my number 1, and who is your favorite villain in anime?
My prediction is obviously Team Rocket. You know, the top 1 villains
That
all
is
anime
true.
history. I'm joking. Nah, I was gonna say Utsuro from Gintama, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's a guess though.
I'm gonna go. I'm changing my guess to Team Rocket.
And who's your favorite villain in anime, Jay?
Probably Madara or Pain.
What? Zodiac? I've seen that before, but I must say she kind of bad. Sorry.
I'm just a massive Naruto fan. That's why.
Villain.
I mean, that's fair. I respect the choice. Pain's awesome.
I heard,
She's not a villain.
if you go on the website and you write down Pain as the code, you'll get 50% off on Tiago merch.
Very true.
Oh God, Tiago's merch?
No, but when I do have merch, maybe I should do Pain.
Wait. Tiago, is your link tiago.com/merch?
All right, let's move on. So my number 1, and I'm curious how many of you guys have seen the series. It is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh.
No. I knew you had it in you.
So I'm assuming you guys have a feeling of which one it is.
It's the yellow hair dude.
Naruto?
Actually, I think the two best villains in JoJo.
He said Naruto?
But it is not Dio, it is Yoshikage Kira.
Let's go! I knew it. I knew it. I was gonna say that, but you know.
Why didn't you?
This video is actually a coming out story for Tiago.
What do you mean? This is not a coming out story at all for Yoshikage.
It's top 1.
I will say, when I was making this list, I didn't know who my number 1 would be, but then he ended up actually being my number 1. I think he carried JoJo's Part 4. If it wasn't for Kira, I would have put JoJo's Part 4 as a 5 out of 10. If not, but because of Kira, it's a 10 out of 10. Just because of awesome. Bites the dust door. Sheer heart attack. So is it okay? So I know Jay, based on what he's saying, he's seen JoJo's Part 4. Zod, have you seen JoJo's Part 4 with Yoshikage Kira?
Yes, I've seen JoJo Part 4 with Yoshikage Kira.
Why'd you have to say it like that? And what about you, Koda?
I feel like I'm about to get flamed, so I don't even want to say what I gotta say. I'm not gonna.
You haven't seen JoJo's, have you?
No, I did see it.
Wait, what? You have seen JoJo's?
No, I've seen it.
Which parts?
First one.
That's the worst part. That is the worst one. Did you drop it because of that?
I'm not gonna lie. I thought that stuff was absolutely dog water.
And welcome to my JoJo convention. Just watch Stardust Crusader and call it a day.
Part 3, Part 4, and Part 5 are by far the best. They're amazing. But Part 4 has Yoshikage Kira, and he is my favorite villain. So, Yoshikage Kira, what makes... Okay, this is going to sound weird, because he's not trying to take over the world. He's not trying to commit a mass genocide. He just wants to live a normal life in peace and quiet in the small town of Morio. But he can't get away from his tendency and fetish of killing young women, basically. And that tendency just keeps coming up when he doesn't even want to necessarily. He just wants to live his quiet, normal life. But it just keeps coming up, and he has to do it, basically. And that leads him into being the foil of the series when he doesn't necessarily even want to be. And his stand, JoJo's stand, is Killer Queen, which is also my favorite stand in all of JoJo's. I think the design is great. I think the powers it has are great. And he's not necessarily the most powerful character in the series, as many villains are. When he encounters Jotaro just brutally beats him up. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, a one-on-one between those two, Jotaro literally destroys him, puts him in the montage, as Koda would say.
You put him on the beat drop?
But it's how he uses his stand that makes him such a threat. Because he uses his stand so expertly and precisely. Like, every movement, every choice that he makes, you just feel like he's calculating it, he's deciding what to do with it, because he doesn't want any trace, he doesn't want anyone messing up his normal life in peace and quiet. And he's so careful in covering those tracks with his stand, which uses explosions. And it may not be a great reason why I like him so much, but I just think he carries that series. I think his whole presence and everything that he does leading up towards the end of the series is amazing. Because then, eventually in the series, he gets a fake wife and a fake child. And at first he uses that as a cover-up for what he does. But then you can actually see in the series, he sort of sympathizes and cares for the role as the husband. But again, because of his tendencies of killing that just keep coming up, he can't lead that normal, quiet life. Pain. But
I mean, it's kind of true though.
It is very true. But
you know, still pain. You know, for me, pain.
All right, Jay. I want to hear
why he's top one.
So there's not necessarily like a big reason, like, oh, I love this character. I loved this person's evil entity. I loved Kira's presence and what he brings to the series. Because in a lot of ways, JoJo's Part 4, the main character is Morio. He is basically the villain to the city. He sees
Mario?
that one. No, Mario. Okay, whatever. The city name is Mario, whatever. And he's basically the one thing causing any sort of chaos and upsetting that small town's peace and quiet. And that's what he wants. That's why he wants to be in the town. But unfortunately, it's that tendency that he has that keeps bringing him into problems and trouble. But as a villain itself, I think he is amazing. He's entertaining. He is everything I'd want in a villain in terms of his presence. I will say I wish he does develop a little bit more in the end. I wish he had a little bit more, but his development still at the end was great. And then I think I'm okay with saying this, but then he has probably one of the funniest deaths I've ever seen. Where
in all anime?
In all of anime.
Oh, that's a big statement.
It's a big statement.
Big statement for Mr. Anime.
Where he's injured. He's on the road, basically crying out to someone to help him. An ambulance.
Yeah, I remember that.
An ambulance is coming. Oh, it's here to
the ambulance.
Oh wait, look out! There's a guy on the road. What? And the ambulance just runs him over.
Like some GTA 5 RPG.
The irony, the thing that was coming to help him and save him kills him. It's perfect for the series. Like that kind of humor and oddness is just what makes JoJo so great, and that's what makes Yoshikage Kira so great. But anyways, that is the list, everybody. That was my top 15 favorite anime villains, and it seemed like there was a couple choices on here that were unexpected that maybe many of you haven't seen, and that's okay, because then you guys can go check out the series if you guys haven't, and you can see why that villain, or maybe it shouldn't have made my list, but we'll see. Thank you everyone for... Oh, sorry, what?
This video will know pain.
It will know pain. It is sponsored by pain.
Mention. Number 1, pain.
You guys heard of Pain
Number
Legends?
2, pain. Number 3, pain.
It's actually...
Pain.
My list should have been 1 through 6 is fast to pain.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
It's just Pain's personality. Number 1, Pain when he's sad.
Pain.
Number 2, when he's happy.
All right. Anyway, though, that is the video. Thank you, everybody, for clicking in on this video and helping me. It was amazing milestone to have hit that, and it couldn't be done without you guys. I have to give some thanks now to Coda for joining me on this video, Zod, and Jay. Thank you all for being on here and for talking anime and talking villains with me, as it was a lot of entertainment and it was very enjoyable. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah,
It's
it was
also
fun.
happy to be here.
Yes. And thank you guys, and maybe we'll hit another milestone, maybe 1,000 subscribers, or 500, or 250, we'll see. But if you guys like the video or like my content, please hit that like button, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really means a lot. I am Tiago from Attack on Tiago, and I hope you all have a nice day.